Well, it's time for Harald to emerge from his what would you call it? His crucible, his chrysalis, his shell. He's been back in Skyrim for months. He has spent time with some hunters. He saved up some money. He bought some supplies. He went to practice his trade, I guess you could call it. Well, it's what he's used to anyway. As much as anyone ever is, you know, I think we all live life with some purpose, but also some level of spontaneity, but also just simply acceptance. We take things as they come. Harald certainly has done that. He set out idealistic in his youth to seek some adventure. And found a lot of conflict and tragedy and war. He found a lot of sorrow and pain. And he's come through that. And he's back here in Skyrim, in his beautiful homeland. Let's just camp for the night here. Find a nice level spot. And we'll spend the evening peacefully on the banks of Lake Ilinalta, along which Harald traveled many times when he was small. I think a quick drink of water, maybe just a little bit of cabbage. Let's see if we don't get any too much of a bad disease here. And it's pretty late. It's too late to be gathering wood. Time to sleep. Kind of cold. That's okay. Grab a little mountain flower tea. Should warm us up a bit. Cooked pheasant. Maybe a little bit to drink. Still hungry though. Horker loaf. Cabbage potato soup. Meat pie. Don't need any restoration of health, but and to be honest, we're not worried about breath, but Harald can eat raw meat since he is a Khajiit. I think it's time to forage a little firewood. Let's see, we're going to build a fire with some branches. And we're going to add a little bit of some tundra cotton. I think that's easy enough to light off. And all we need is a flickering campfire to warm us up a bit. So it's time for Harald to really consider his next move. I mean, he has heard about this museum, and he certainly found some interesting relics already in Bleak Falls and Empershard Mine. I think it's certainly time first to go back to Riverwood and return the Golden Claw to Lucan and his sister and make them happy. But after that, it's kind of up in the air, you know? Let's place our cooking pot and see what we have to cook here. Let's see. We can make some potent spider venom. That's excellent. And we can boil the water in our water skin. That should take care of any worries about drinking bad water. We'll make a little more mountain flower tea. Some cured skeever hide. Make a couple of those. And charred skeever meat. Interesting possibilities. Alchemically speaking. Boiled skeever tail. Make a few of those. Red wine. All good. All good things. And that's enough for the campfire. We can put that out. And no unspent fuel. That's okay. And pick up our cooking pot. All right. Well, if only we could gather some of these cattails. But it seems we can't. So I think we need to drop a couple of items. Let's see, what do we have? It's always easy to gather deadwood, so no reason to carry that around. Harald doesn't need to tangle with a bull moose right now. They can be quite nasty. Especially when they're in rut season and all they really care about is finding a cute female moose. They have no patience for any interference. And there's a cow moose. She's looking for a friend, too. I think we'll leave her alone. A nice little old lady. Hello.
I'm just a poor old woman, dear. No need to trouble yourself with me.
You know, Harald has had enough experience in his life to know that is complete crap. What's your story?
It's so nice to have a visitor.
I think I think we need to take a look around here. Well, she has a book about alchemy. And there's a cellar in her little hovel here. Harald certainly thinks there's more going on than meets the eye. And, of course, being a Khajiit, he's not afraid to skulk around and investigate. Poor Binky. Binky, if you'd left me alone, I wouldn't have killed you. Interesting. A letter from Anise. Helgi, dear, why do you hesitate? You can feel the power coursing in your blood. You have only to reach out and grasp it. Renounce that boy of yours and come live with me in the forest. My sister will be here soon. Together we can form a proper coven and your training will truly begin. See, Harald has good instincts. He knows when people are lying. An innocent old lady. No, I don't think so. Graiwaj or Gryve and the Harpies. We're not going to read all of this. Clearly about hagravens and witches. Debella and Nocturnal. But I think we should take it. We'll take the quill and the inkwell too. Well, this is a very nice spot. Harald isn't terribly interested in it, but he's never one to look at, a gift horse in the mouth.
Is fool.
This is what we were afraid of. She can't be a nice old lady. There she is, right there. Where is she? There she is. I'm sorry, Anise. You left me no choice. But I will see that you are laid to rest in a suitable location. Perhaps under one of these beautiful large trees here. Clearly you worshipped the natural world and all of its wonders, so I think we'll set you down where you can spiritually look at your beloved forest. I think that's fitting. It's a beautiful spot. But Harald has never been one to look a gift horse in the mouth or a gift cabin in the mouth, and here is a spot that he truly understands he can occupy, at least for a while, at least until he's found a more permanent home. First things first, however, most importantly, it's time to go back into Bleak Falls Barrow and pick up that little pony. So let's check it out. We'll see if any more Draugr have appeared in here. Anybody around? I don't think so. Hello, Atlas. Come with me. Come on, let's go. All right, little man. Let's go this way. I think you can probably follow me down. And even if you can't, you'll be around eventually. We're going to go right back down to Anissa's cabin here. We're going to drop a few things off. I think the hunter is looking for the fox. I don't think he wants me.
I can. You can't hide from
Yep.
me.
He's just looking for the fox. Fox pelts are worth something. There's no doubt of that. So let's harvest some of the ingredients that are just right around the cabin here. There's a little anvil we can use to make some things. Let's see, I don't really need any bedrolls. I don't need but I do 100% need a cauldron. So we're going to make a cauldron. And that's all we're going to make here, I think. And we'll leave everything else to store down. Who are you?
I've been hunting and fishing in these parts. It's not like my poaching is hurting anyone. The Jarl can hardly eat every deer now, can he?
You know, your friends that I was hanging out with were saying the
Take a
same
look.
thing. I don't think I'd mind grabbing a good elk hide. Maybe a pelt that's worth a little bit more. I have plenty of bones. Don't need any more elk. I think we're good. Well, we'll grab a poor deer hide. I think we can make a little bit of some strips out of that.
Until next time.
So let's see what we can do with the tanning rack here. And that should take care of things for now. And it would be super awesome if we could actually cook some venison, but it seems like whatever we have needs salt, which we don't have. So, Atlas, just take a break. Wait right there. Have some of that lovely sweet grass. We're going to go down in the basement. We're going to have an afternoon of fun. And when we come back, we'll head over to Riverwood. Well, a lot has happened since Harald made his way through Bleak Falls Barrow. He left the back entrance, and on his way through the forest back towards Riverwood, he encountered a little old lady in a cabin, and well, his natural Khajiit curiosity got the better of him, and he went down in the basement there. When he came out, she was quite angry. I suppose that Harald can't really blame her for being angry, but I mean, she just attacked him, and there was nothing he could do. And so the poor old woman lies dead. Harald carried her over to a tree and laid her carefully to rest there, as it seemed like she was fond of nature, let's just put it that way. However, in the basement of her little cabin, Harald found some very compelling equipment, including a cauldron and an alchemy table and an enchanting table and some places to store books and things, so he's going to use that as a little bit of a base. And then he went up to Bleak Falls Barrow again to investigate this wonderful little pony named Atlas that he read in this journal here. Essentially, it tells the story of the owner of Atlas who died and left Atlas, and hopes that anybody who finds him will treat him well. He's a strong and stalwart little pony, and he can carry a tremendous amount of weight, and he'll follow you around loyally and do exactly what you tell him to do. And so Harald said, well, come along with me, Atlas. And so we went down.
Petty thievery and drunken brawls.
Well,
Been too
good.
long since you've had a good bandit raid.
Yeah, you want a bandit raid? I'll bring you one. Yeah. So we came back down to Riverwood and did a little bit of trading and some smithing, and in the during lunchtime at the tavern, drinking an ale and chatting with Orgnar, Harald noticed a piece of paper on the counter, and it said, "Help wanted. Curator Arian Morellis is seeking able-bodied adventurers to seek out and recover lost artifacts of historical relevance for the soon-to-be reopened Museum in Solitude." And this is exactly what Harald had heard rumors about. He hadn't known exactly where it was yet, but now he knows. Anyone interested should apply there in person. All deliveries of authentic artifacts will be well compensated. Arian Morellis, Curator, Dragonborn Gallery in Solitude. So, it is Harald's plan right now to head for Solitude. He's reasonably well fed, might need a little drink of water right now. Let's see how our I think we're going to need to just run to the tavern and refill our water skins, maybe buy a few supplies. Atlas, why don't you just stay here for a minute while we go do that, and we'll run over here and get Orgnar to fill our water skins. So it's time to hit the road. Time for Harald and Atlas to move on and really, let's see. I'm ready to go. Let's just have a quick drink and a little bit to eat, and we'll be on our way. All right. So it's time for Harald to take command of his destiny. He's been with the hunters. He has struck out on his own and done some, well, a little bit of sowing and reaping, as it were. I think that Bleak Falls Barrow was a real wake-up call for him. It was difficult and took a long time to make his way through there. Look at that beautiful waterfall. Wow. So, oh my, there's a dead marsh deer. So, we want to get this classified in, and we'll call this a veiled deer, I think. So, this is for Hunterborn, in case you were wondering. Now, Harald has to wonder what killed the deer in the first place. More than likely predaceous wolves. But he's not too worried about that right now. Definitely worth gathering some ingredients, though. Now, Anis's cabin is right across the way there, but Harald has left that behind for now. He will return. It's got a very nice little smithing station in the back and a spot for him to do his spell research when it comes time. But right now it's time to move on down the road and really do some exploration. It's time to stretch his legs and get back into the rhythm of his life, which has been adventure. Certainly it's been battle. I think that he's had not necessarily enough of that, but he's certainly had enough of the consequences of that. So he's more interested in just doing what comes naturally. And some of that is certainly hunting, gathering, finding cool stuff. We're going to butcher some of this venison because and we're going to keep a lot of that on Atlas. Atlas is a wonderful follower and a superb carrier of burdens. Much better than another well-known carrier of burdens. He doesn't constantly remind you of his duty to carry burdens, for one thing. And for another, he'll just keep carrying them. And he doesn't follow too close. He runs away when it's appropriate. Let's see, it's getting kind of late in the afternoon. It might be worth finding a good place to camp. First, we need to make sure we have our bow selected. We did do a little bit of smithing and crafting and changing around of things. So we picked up and we made a hunter's spear. We're going to favorite that, although I doubt Harold's going to be using it a whole lot. He really is more of a one-handed wielder with a shield. But we will keep the ancient Nord arrows in reserve. Get that bow set up properly here. There seems to be a family of ducks down here. Let's see what we can get out of one of them. Alright, where'd it go? There it is. Well, we got a duck breast. That's fine. We should probably classify the ducks as well. Sorry about that, Mama Mallard, but we might be hungry later. What's going on? Yes, someone do something. What? Well, we're not going to bother helping a Stormcloak. Certainly not Harald's favorite. Okay, Atlas, where are you? I hear him. There he is. Took the long way around. Okay, buddy, why don't you wait here? I have to go scout around a little bit. So just eat some of those excellent blue mountain flowers there. And we're going to just scout the territory here. See if we can find a little place to camp, perhaps. It's getting a little dark. Awful lot of ducks around. Maybe they'll help. All their noise will help cover my approach here. Clearly bandits. Let's circle around here a little bit. Perhaps stay behind this tree up here. See if... Oh, no, we gotta stay behind these trees. See if we can get up close enough to take a look here. That's one down. And that's the rest of them down. All right, let's see. We've got some lock picks and a steel arrow, a steel ingot. Excellent. I don't think there's anybody else up here. All right, we're gonna go collect Atlas and come on back, and we're gonna spend the night at this little bandit camp here. And we're also going to activate a mod that's very helpful with Atlas called Jackson's Map Markers. And so as you can see, the plus equals sign is the mark. So we do that. And then when you want to find your marked companion, you go back to Map Markers and Manage Markers. It's set to show. And then you go to the map. And when you activate the quest in your journal, it'll show your little companion. And there he is. So it's a really good way to find companions, particularly companions like Atlas, who do not get, what's the word, administered, who aren't controlled by follower mods like EFF or AFT. So if you have a mod that does that, it will not be, Atlas will not be controlled by it, which is actually good. It means that you can separate him from your followers by making him wait while the rest of your followers stay with you in battle or something like that. So that makes Atlas very useful that way. So let's search this guy, see what he's got. A little bit of mead. We're going to drink that right away tonight. Lockpicks are always good to have. We have plenty of skulls. I don't think we need any more skulls. Now let's see what this book here has to offer. Night Falls on Sentinel. A good one-handed increase. Excellent. We'll take that. And we'll see if Atlas shows up at the fire. Or did we forget to tell him to come along? I think we must have forgotten to tell him to come along. So let's just run back down the road here and grab him. One thing that is convenient about the follower mods that does not work on Atlas is the teleportation. So that's one of the downsides to not being controlled by the follower mods. But that's all right. As long as we know where he is, we can always go and find him. And there are, I believe Atlas has his own little powers. I think you can find a way to call him to you. So let's just sit by the fire here and enjoy a little bit of mead and some dinner. Actually, let's drink this ale, because, you know, Orgnar's ale, well, it doesn't last very long, gotta say. And we're going to eat some of this raw bear meat. Harald does like his meat raw. There's no doubt about that. But it's always good to wash it down with a little water. And certainly an onion, perhaps. And maybe a piece of cheese. And that's good. And there's Atlas. So time for bed. I'm gonna spend the night here, get a nice good 11-hour sleep, and set off for Solitude first light. What is going on? Oh, just some storm cloaks or something passing through. Nothing to worry about. Ah, it sounds like some storm cloaks met up with some Imperials. You know what? We're going to eat our breakfast quickly while they fight it out. A little cooked pheasant, a little bit of goat cheese, and some more water. And just wait an hour or so until it gets a little lighter, and then let's just head down to the road and see what went on down here. I can see some... Ooh, an Imperial captain. My. Well, you know, we can probably get some steel out of that. We'll have Atlas carry that to the nearest smithy, where we can find a smelter. But it doesn't look like there was anything else particularly interesting to gather. Oh, wait. Oh, there's a Stormcloak leader. Scaled horn armor. It's light armor. Harald's not terribly interested, but he's certainly, he can sell that. So let's just keep that. Turn our lantern off. Don't need that anymore. All right, Atlas. Let's head on down the line here. Harald certainly knows from his travels as a young Khajiit the general lay of the land here in Skyrim. He knows where most of the roads lead, at least in a general sense. He knows that right now he's heading in a generally westerly direction, so Solitude is both west and north of here, which is in the hold of Falkreath. So once he's past the mill, which he remembers, that sounded like some wolves hunting. Moose. Moose are tough. They will knock you down and send you spinning if you're not careful. They're big and kind of dumb and not very much scared of anything. So Harald gives them a wide berth for the most part. This is the best area to harvest thistle and well done, horse. Pillar of Dead's Grasp. We don't need a sword. Nor do we really need to deal with that pillar at this point. But definitely some excellent harvesting along here. Harald has done a little bit of practice with his alchemy at the cabin. Certainly could use some more practice. Has his mortar and pestle, and will next time he camps spend some time with that.
All right, hand over your valuables, or I will gut you like a fish.
Khajiit friend, you do not have to do this. I urge you to walk away right now.
Nice try, but you do not scare me. I
Well,
am not going to ask again.
you know, I don't have time for this, but if you want to fight, it's yours. I'm sorry, brother. You should not have crossed me. I've seen enough battle. I don't have time for a petty thief. Let's see. A padded fur mantle. Okay. You would not have hesitated to loot my body, and I will not hesitate to loot yours. Rest in peace, friend. Rest in peace. A little herd of goats.
You wear the armor of a brigand. That's not cause any trouble on my watch.
Best not annoy me. So here is Half Moon Mill. Harald vaguely remembers. He doesn't remember it being quite so built up when he was a kitten, but that's okay. We're heading towards Rorikstead anyway. We don't need to stop off at Half Moon Mill right now. Certainly worth exploring side to side along the road here, though, since there's plenty of good alchemy to be done, and looks like a rich man who can afford a bodyguard. Another cairn here. I wonder if this marks anything interesting. Certainly some interesting sounds coming from the forest over here. Oh, look. Pheasant. That's good. We got ourselves a pheasant there. Let's categorize that. Wrong. So we have an animal, and it is not available to categorize. Canine, deer, goat, hare, horker, mammoth, mud crab, rural. I guess that's the best we can get. Yes. So we'll call it a chicken. Alright, that's good enough. And we'll butcher some meat. We got a nice raw chicken breast out of that, and then get rid of it. Alright, let's see what's down this path here. It's a squirrel. Doesn't seem to be a whole lot of anything interesting down this way. Let's go a little farther down the path. But I don't think Harald wants to get too distracted from his purpose of going to Solitude, so let's head back to the road. Let's see, heading down, if Harald remembers correctly, we're going to be heading down towards the tundra here. And there it is. The beautiful plains to the west of Whiterun. A saber cat. A saber cat hunting. Now that's a difficult predator to take on. But Harald's a pretty good hunter. I'll try to stay... well now let's see how this goes for the elk. Not so well for the elk. See if we can get an arrow in that saber cat there. Yeah, we got him. We've got you, sir. A little bit of frost enchantment on the bow makes a big, big difference. Let's just switch over before we put our weapons away here. And then we'll process the corpse. Harald certainly is not going to eat cat meat. He's no cannibal. However, he does like butterflies. And there's more over here. Alright, enough plucking of wings and hunting of butterflies. You know, things that flit around attract a cat's attention. It's very difficult to tear oneself away. What's this? A dead squirrel. Raw squirrel leg. Well, why not? It's probably just about like rabbit. Tastes like chicken, you know? So let's see. Rorikstead Solitude. That's where we want to go. Atlas, you ready to go to Solitude? I know I am. Yep, that's the way I feel too. Paw the ground. Let's go, buddy. Let's go to Solitude.